Hey, Rosie. It's getting close to your mom's birthday, you know. I would really like this newly released dishwasher that just came out a few weeks ago. I looked it up and it costs around $3,000, but I'm sure you'll still get it for me, right? What? $3,000 for a dishwasher? But I've heard that also costs a little bit to have it installed, so round that up to $5,000, and I'm thinking that's what the total will be. You can just send me that money, actually. I'll be the one to go and buy it. Wait, Mom, $5,000 is a little too much if you ask me. What are you talking about? Your husband Rick is a CEO, so he's got to be making loads of money doing that, right? $5,000 for a present shouldn't be a problem for you at all. If you let him know about this, I'm sure he'll pitch in considering it's his mother-in-law's birthday of all days. When it comes to men, they'll do anything to make their mother-in-laws happy. But I'm no longer his wife anymore. Rather, his ex-wife now. I'm sorry for never letting you know about this, but just recently Rick and I got a divorce. Huh? You and Rick got a divorce? That's right, just last month actually. So I'm not sure he's going to be joining me in celebrating your birthday this year, especially now that the both of us are trying to finish all the paperwork up from the divorce and are getting ready to start our new lives. I'm sorry, but can we wait a little while before celebrating your birthday this year? Are you kidding me? My birthday only comes once every year, and it's very important. Every year so far, you've been taking me to these really upscale restaurants and stuff, right? And along with that, you would always give me the most amazing and expensive presents. There's no way you're gonna skip celebrating my birthday this year. Then how about next year I give you both this year's and next year's presents? Right now, I'm having to get used to living on my own again, and it's costing me a lot of my money to do so. To be frank, $5,000 for a present this year is just not happening. No freaking way! I wanna know what the hell you were thinking getting a divorce from Rick. You do not need to start to living on your own again. Just go back to him and make up already. You're a freaking idiot for letting a husband with that much money go. I don't want to get back together with him, though, and I had every right to leave that man. Rick has been cheating on me for a long time now. And not just with one woman, but two. He already had a wife and still managed to be going out with 2 other women. No way I'm gonna keep him around. And what's so bad about cheating? What's wrong with him having 2 other women around him? Who cares that he loves other women besides you? It's all about his money. What? If you let a CEO husband like that slip away from you, you'll never be able to live your life of luxury again. And he was willing to send his wife's mother $1,500 a month so that she could be financially safe as well. And now you're telling me you divorced someone who is both nice and loaded because he had other women he loves? You're the most stupid woman I've ever known. Hold on a second, Mom. Your daughter was just cheated on by her husband. Are you neither sad or upset or something like that happening? Why are you getting upset at me for this? Because you're not going to be the one giving me money. I don't give a damn how useless my daughter feels about what happened. Huh? Ugh! Ever since you were a little girl, you've always been causing me and everyone around you so much trouble. Now that you've got him messed up big time, I'm going to have to do something about this. I'm going to make him take you back again, and you're going to apologize to him for ever thinking that you could divorce him like that. I want you on your hands and knees apologizing to him over getting a divorce over something as common as being cheated on.
Yo, Rosie? Are you really regretting divorcing me that badly already? You were so pissed off at me for having 2 other girlfriends when married to you. It's kind of cute that you'd be crying and wanting me back when it hasn't even been a month yet.
Huh?
Because of that, I think I will let you get back together with me. But that'll only happen as long as you come and apologize to me. I want you to come and say that you're so sorry for getting upset with me for cheating on you. Then I'll let you come back to my side.
I'd rather not come back to you, actually. Don't ever talk to me again, please. Who would ever want to go back to a man whore like you anyways?
What?
Let me guess. My mom got in contact with you and told you all about me. I bet her exact words were that I was regretting ever divorcing you, so please let me remarry you again or something along those lines. That woman always finds the most aggravating ways to get under my skin, stupid woman.
Are you not regretting everything? Are you not crying right now about the fact that you divorced me over me cheating? What about all that stuff she told me about you crying over me all the time? That's what your mum was telling me about you.
And all of that was a lie my mom was telling you. I don't regret a thing about divorcing you, and I have not cried once about you being out of my sight for the past month. If anything, I'm getting pretty upset right now because I once again have to talk to you. You really thought I'd be coming to you crying about how I want to get back together and I'm so sorry for what happened?
You're not going to.
Like I said, who would ever want to get back together with a man whore like you, all right? Don't you even try talking to me like this again, you idiot. If you try this again, I'm gonna make sure you never have the means of talking to anyone again.
You freaking bitch. It's things like that that made you so darn annoying and forced me to cheat on you. You were just given a chance to finally come back to me by your mum. You're going to regret never taking what your mum and I were going to give you. If you come back crying someday, wanting to be a CEO's wife again, I'm going to ignore you and look at my two beautiful women that I still have near me.
The only one that's going to regret anything is you, Rick. When you come back crying to me about how you want to have a loving and caring wife like myself back, I'm going to ignore you and continue living the wonderful life I finally have again. What the hell do you think you're doing, you moron? I'd gone through all the trouble to get you Rick back and everything. You're freaking brain dead for letting the one chance you had of getting back together with that man go to waste. Do you have any idea how hard I worked to get Rick to even think about wanting someone like you back in his life? I never asked you to do something like that. Stop doing such stupid crap behind my back, woman. Ugh. Who do you think you are talking back to me like that? I was doing all of that for your sake. Not only have you gone and ruined what I was trying to give you, but you never even said thanks for it. You're the worst daughter this world has ever seen, you bitch. Calling me the worst daughter this world's ever seen just because I'm not doing what you want is just rude. None of what you've been doing has been for my sake. Rather, it's been all for your own. You're starting to freak out now because that $1,500 a month you're getting is no longer happening, right? Excuse me? I'm right on the mark, aren't I? Ever since I was a little girl, you never once cared about what I wanted or needed. The moment you heard I'd gotten married. No, wait, the moment you heard my husband was a CEO, you went to showing me all this love and care that you never once showed me before. That's not true. You were not on the mark at all. Far from it, actually. Then support my decision of getting that divorce. If I'm wrong, then you should be more than happy to see that your daughter is no longer with the man that was cheating on her. You shouldn't be worried about not getting $1,500 a month from him anymore, or not getting any more huge presents, right? Wait, that's what I thought. If you're not supporting your daughter right now with something that makes her happy, then you don't care about her. So I was right on the mark there. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Who the hell cares that you were on the mark there? What's wrong with me caring more about his money than my own daughter? I was trying to be quiet and listen to what you all had to say, but all of it was just bullcrap coming out of your mouth. I've heard enough. I have no use for a daughter that doesn't care as much about money as I do. Are you serious? Listen here, you little crap. For the longest time now, ever since you started to speak, you never listened to me and always talk like a smartass. Just because you're a little smart, you think you can talk like that to your own mother. Even though I was telling you as long as you got married, there was no need to go to college. But you got that scholarship without my permission and went to college anyway. You've always, for as long as I've known you, gone against my word and never ever listened to me. Well, sorry for that. You and I happen to value very different things is all. I get that you think you're always the boss, but I'm not a child anymore, so stop trying to lecture me about it. Ah! I can't stand you talking back to me like that anymore. I'm starting to think that it's just not such a bad idea to throw you away forever. If this is how you're gonna act and treat your own mother, then that's it. I'm disowning you for good. Excuse me? The only reason I've been so kind to you and raised you for all those years is because I was holding in my anger about how much you freaking acted like a jerk. That's why I was getting $1,500 a month from your CEO husband all this time in a way of paying me back for all the hard work that I did. I just wanted to live my life in luxury after so many years of raising a brat. But now you've gone and ruined everything for me by divorcing that rich man, you freaking idiot. I have no use for such a worthless daughter like you now. You have no right saying things like that to your own daughter. I'm not even hurt after hearing all that. I'm just in shock. Complete and utter shock. I've gotten all the use I could out of the lowlife that's been thrown out by her CEO husband. A useless daughter like you is never to come around me again, you hear me? At least now I get to keep my $1,500 every month. Thanks for that. What? You never want me around you again, right? Therefore, we're cutting ties to one another for good. I've been wanting something like this for a long time now myself, so this is perfect. Now I won't have to give up $1,500 a month anymore either. I won't have to give that man any of my money anymore either because now we're both officially divorced. Honestly, it feels like I've been reborn and I'm completely a new person. Oh, wait a second, what the hell are you going on about right now? What it sounded like to me, you're making it seem like you were getting that money from Rick and sending it to me. I wasn't getting anything from Rick, actually. I was the one using my money to support you every month. That $1,500 that I was giving you every month was coming from my paychecks. Rick never gave you a penny. What? Is that so? That first month's $3,000 that I gave you was all from me, Mom, and ever since that day I've continued being the one that gave you all that money. But Rick was telling me how he was the one giving me the money. Back when I asked you to give me a little more every month is when I heard that from him. You had told me clear as day that you wouldn't give me any more than I was already getting, so I went and talked to him out of anger. And that's when he told me that if you weren't going to let me have any more money, that he would. And after he said that, I started to receive more money like I was asking for. Rick really loves to lie his ass off, doesn't he? After he said that to you, he came right to me about it. He told me that he felt bad for you, so he wanted me to send you just a little bit more. I then asked him why he couldn't give you the money himself that you wanted, and his excuse was that he simply couldn't, and that I should be the one to give you more. What? And even after that time, you started to always talk to him when you wanted more money, right? And then he'd always tell you that he's the CEO and that he can get you that extra money you always wanted. But he was never actually the one giving you anything because he'd always come back to me with the same excuse saying I should give you more because he just couldn't. And guess what? He would always tell me the next day after those talks that if I ever told you the truth, it would embarrass him. And that's why it always looked as though he was the one sending you that money, when it really has been always me. Are you kidding? But Rick is a CEO, right? He runs his own company. He should have tons of money on him, right? So why would he make you be the one to give me that money all the time? Don't tell me he's been stingy jerk this whole time. He can't be stingy because he has no money. He's a definition of a moneyless bastard. The company that Rick is so-called running never does any business, meaning that he makes a whopping $0 every year. Huh? $0 every year? What do you mean? He has a company that he's running, yet he doesn't make any money? How the hell does that work? The thing is, unless he actually has a company, there's no meaning to calling him himself a CEO. Normally one would take the company they have and provide a service or sell something, and that's how you make money from the company, right? But this company that Rick thinks he has doesn't do anything. What? He only has the company in order to call himself a CEO and have a business card with this company's name on it. Theoretically, yes, there is a company. However, it's not a real company. He doesn't do anything with it, therefore he makes $0 from it every year. What? But every time he and I would talk, he always told me that the company was doing well. He'd always wear really nice suits, and when we'd meet, he'd just give off that well-off CEO vibe. I bought all those suits for him. He was always whining about how if he had no good clothing to wear, then he'd never be able to get a job. So in order to shut him up, I went out and got him some of the cheapest secondhand suits I could find and gave them to him. Is that so? It wasn't just you that I was having to pay for that whole time, Mom. I was also paying for our place, all of the food, the electric and water bills, his clothing as well as mine, everything. All from my paycheck. Now, if you want to know how I've been able to do all that, it's because I've been doing one hell of a good job at work, and that's why everything just worked with the money I was making. No way. I had thought all this time that Rick was the stand-up guy who ran his own company and made loads of money. But it's not only that he's never had a company, but that this whole time he's had to live off of what you made. When it comes to me, I never once heard about how you were making so much money yourself. Well, you never even asked me about it. You always made it very clear to me, even after getting married to Rick, that you didn't care about what I did for work. Actually, you would always pester me about it, saying that I was married to a rich man and should be quitting my job, right? There was never a time where I could actually tell you about how well I've been doing at work, because anytime I tried, you just hit me with that statement. Hey, Mom, I'd believed in you so much for so long now. I understood when I was younger that we'd always butt heads on things and you never liked the path I'd take, but I was sure that when I got into college, you'd be supportive of me. And I started to believe that once I got myself a good job, you'd be supportive of me. I believed that by sending you money every month, you'd finally be happy and supportive of me. I'd worked this hard all my life believing that one day you'd be proud of me and support me. But that belief that you'll one day be proud of me is gone now. What? I've thought so many times now that I really want to cut ties to you, but you were the one that gave birth to me, and I never wanted to imagine a day that your own daughter would tell you goodbye forever. However, now that you've said you want to disown me just now, I'm so thankful. I can finally be free to live and do the things I want. Rosie, hold on a minute. I might have been taking things too far by saying that I wanted to cut ties to you and everything. Goodbye forever now. I'm going to do something you've asked from me for once, and that's never show my face around you or bother you again. I hope you're happy now.
Please, Rosie, can you please find a way to make your way back to me?
What? Who the hell is this?
You have to know who I am. Now, I want you to calm down and listen to what I have to say. I've finally come around to realizing why you were so important to me.
You've only just realized that now.
I had really believed that things would go well after the divorce. I happened to have 2 other women around me and a man who's been divorced before, and it's kind of awesome, right? And I was thinking that this would be the year I finally started to do something with my company. I was really thinking I could rub all my success in your face later on, but well, before I knew it, I was already $30,000 in debt. At this point, my company is going to go bankrupt.
You're joking. You're finally losing that company.
I'm really shocked by this myself. The moment that we got that divorce, my company started to dive into the red, which is strange because for years now I've been making it work, not having to do anything but just call myself the CEO of the company.
Damn. So you still haven't learned a thing. The reason you were never in the red all those years is because of me. I was doing all the paperwork and paying the bills so that you could keep that company going without you ever bothering to notice. So it makes total sense why you would be in the red now after I left. I'm going to assume that your company going into debt had nothing to do with the company itself though, right? You still carry the company credit card on you with a limit of $40,000 on it, right? Have you been using that card to buy groceries and things like that ever since the divorce?
Wait,
Just like I thought. Can't believe you're as old as you are and still don't understand how credit cards work. You used to work an actual job, for God's sakes, but you quit it after getting married to me saying that you'd start a company of your own. Yet look at you. 3 years of you doing nothing with it besides making me waste my money to keep it afloat. I'm guessing that now, since you've pretty much lost the company, your girlfriends have run away?
they sure as hell have. Ever since this morning, they haven't been reading any more of my text to them. They won't even answer my phone calls anymore.
Oh no.
So please, help me out. Help me and my company. Help me with my life. I figured out that you're important to me, so please, help.
I'm sorry to say this, Rick, but I don't need you in my life anymore. Goodbye, Rick. It's too late to regret all that you've done now, so stop your whining and do something with your life for once. Hey, Rosie, I'm very sorry for saying such terrible things to you before. Right now, your mother's very sad about what she's done to you, and with all of her heart is asking for you to please give her another chance. Nope. I have no need for you anymore. Don't be so cruel to me. Ever since what happened to us, I've been thinking. I think for the past few weeks, I've just been really shocked and frazzled. The divorce of you and Rick has really surprised me is the thing. I never knew about Rick being a fake that whole time, so it really caused me to rethink how I treat you. I should have been worried about you that whole time while supporting you, but instead I just continue to say some terrible things. Stop calling yourself my mom. Goodbye forever now. Wait. Please just stick with me a little longer. There are still some things I really want to talk to you about. As a way of showing my thanks to you for everything you've done for me, I've found you a new man. What? A new man? I'm sure that since the divorce, every day for you has been lonely at night, right? And what made things worse is that you were cheated on, which led to the divorce, and I'm sure you're still hurting. So your mom, in order to make you happy again, has found you a really great new man. I got you this new man in order to help heal those wounds to your heart and keep you company. I never asked for anything like that. Well, I know. But please don't be so cold about all this. I finally found you a man that will work perfectly for you. He's a little bit older than you, being in his 50s, but he's a real gentleman. He's even saying that he doesn't mind that you've been divorced before. Jesus Christ. In his 50s? He's also running his own company right now, but not like what Rick was doing. He's actually making money from his company. And he said that since you were making just as much as he is, he'd be willing to marry you. I think this man is perfect for you, and you both will get along so well. Gosh dang it, stop all that. In his 50s? He's closer in age to you than he is to me. If he's that good of a man, why don't you marry him? But he said that if he's going to get married, it's going to be with a young woman. He's told me that he really likes my character and body, but he'd much rather be married and have kids with someone who hasn't been pregnant yet. So if you're able to marry him for me, then we can all be a happy family and share. For crying out loud, enough! That guy, have you been dating him? After you told me that you were going to cut ties with me, I freaked out a little and found myself a boyfriend. But it's okay. I don't happen to need him for anything more than his money, so you guys can sleep together. I promise that as long as I get to use his money, you can do whatever you'd like with him and I won't get in your way. No. This is so messed up. This is actually beyond messed up now. This is like something that makes one need to be committed to an insane asylum. I'm disgusted by all of this. Freaking disgusted. Please don't say things like that about me, Rosie. Aren't you embarrassed to be all alone right now, having a divorce under your belt? You'll be able to get married again, and I'll be able to have my daughter back. He'll be able to marry a younger woman, and I'll be able to have his money. This all sounds like the perfect idea to me, so let's all three become one happy family. I'm blocking you. Go screw yourself. What? Rosie, you're not really blocking me, are you? Go screw yourself with a rusty pipe. What? Goodbye for freaking ever now, you whore. Rosie! Wait, Rosie! You need to help your mother out. You can't just leave me forever. Right after that, I blocked my mom's number, her email, and all of her social media accounts, and just to be sure, I changed rooms within the apartment building. I also went and explained everything to my boss about what was wrong with my mom, so that if she ever tried to find me there, the front would immediately have the security personnel walk her out and lock the doors. Thankfully, she never did end up coming to the office looking for me, but from what I was hearing about her the day I blocked her, that man went and dumped her, which has now left her searching for wherever I'm living at now, which will hopefully never work in her favor. I understand that some might feel bad for what I had to do to my mom, leaving her like that when she was at her most vulnerable, but all of you listening know the kind of monster she is, and that's all I care about. However, a lot of my friends know of my past with her as well and the hardships I've had recently, so when she's gone to them asking for my address, they all tell her to screw off and that she deserves to be tossed away by her daughter. When it comes to what happened to Rick after all that, he ended up going back to his parents' house. But he had totally forgot about the fact that he took his parents' money in order to pay off the $30,000 debt he was in. So as they opened the door to him, they said he wasn't allowed in until he'd paid them every penny back. I never even knew about him stealing his parents' money in order to pay all the debt off, and I'm sure he was never going to tell me in order to get the $30,000 out of me, hopefully. As of right now, he lives in an old barn on someone else's property, although the owner doesn't know about it yet. And while he's been sleeping in there with the pigs, he's been working for a lawn care company under the hot sun every day trying to make money in order to pay his parents back. At least that's all I've heard about him. Mom, can you give me $3,000 right now? You have to get that money into my account right now. What? $3,000? Once I'm home from school today, could you please give it to me? Then I can pay for what I need to get immediately. Hold on a second, Joy. $3,000 is a lot of money, okay? What do you plan to use money like that on? What? I need to use it for my graduation ceremony. I need to make myself some really cool clothing for the ceremony, so please give me that money. Cool clothing? And what do you mean that you need cool clothing for your graduation ceremony? I want to be just like one of the students from last year's graduation. I want to wear a gown that's completely bedazzled like her. What? She had her gown covered from top to bottom in all these cute little gems, and on the back of her gown, she had her first and last name spelled out in gems. So I'm gonna do the same thing as her this year. Then I'll be the most amazing looking person out of my friends on stage. I'll be standing out more than anyone in the school. You're planning on making yourself look that gaudy? And you want to look that way during your graduation ceremony? That's why I'm asking you to send me that money right now, please. They said the moment I get that money to them, they'll start to work on my gown, so I have to do this soon. There's not much time left before the graduation ceremony, okay? And you're telling me that all costs $3,000 to do. I'm sorry to say this, Joy, but that's gonna be a no from me. I'm not gonna pay for you to get a $3,000 bedazzled job done on your gown today. Huh? I already promised all my friends that I'd be doing it. And all my friends are planning on doing something as well that they've already been able to pay for. If I'm the only one showing up in just a plain gown on that day, I'm gonna be made fun of. Do you want your daughter to be made fun of on her special day? I'm sure your friends aren't gonna do that to you. Also, if you've been wanting to do something like that, then you should have started saving up some money yourself. I'm not gonna just hand you $3,000 if you haven't done anything to earn it. Huh? Just the other day, I'd ran into one of your friends' moms at the supermarket. I overheard them talking about how their daughters were all preparing special gowns for the graduation ceremony. Were they all talking about what you're telling me right now? But guess what? All of their daughters had been saving up some money for their gowns, and that's why their moms weren't against the idea. However, in your case, you've come to me last minute asking for an immense amount of money to go and make that gown up. But that's not going to happen. I don't care that you don't want me doing this. Just shut up already and give me that money. Once again, while you were sitting there messing around after school, all of your friends have been out working in order to save up money for their gowns. They all want to look cool on the day of their graduation, so a lot of them have been saving up every penny they've earned and received for that event. What? They've all been doing that? And it's not just about them saving all their money, but the fact that they were also helping their moms with chores to make even more money. Yet in your case, what have you been doing exactly that warrants me giving you any money? All of your friends have been working for what they want, yet you expect things like that handed to you. If you really feel that your gown isn't going to be cool enough, then perhaps use what crafts we have at home to do some handiwork on yours. Shut up! I don't need you preaching to me about all that right now, so just hurry up and give me that money. If you don't give it to me soon, then I'll never have that gown made up in time. No matter how much you cry, I'm not budging. You are not going to be getting $3,000 from me. You go and explain to your friends why you won't have that gown made up for graduation, please. Tell them you didn't work on making or saving any money, so you were not able to get what you wanted. You freaking stingy little witch! All right then, if you're not going to give me that money, then I'll have Dad give it to me. Felix, I think in a little while you'll be getting some text from Joy, all right? She wanted to get a lot of money from me, but of course the amount she was asking for was a bit ridiculous, so let's just agree not to give her anything for what she wants.
What all went on between you two? How much money was she asking you for?
Well, to start, Joy's wanting to make a so-called cool gown for her graduation ceremony with her friends. She wants to pay $3,000 for that gown.
What? She wants to pay $3,000 for that gown?
That gown? Wait, have you been aware of this?
Wait, it's not that I've really heard everything about it, but just little bits here and there. She was just showing me a drawing of the design she wanted bedazzled on it. But you're telling me it's going to cost that much to make?
If you knew about it all of this time, you could have told her to stop her to start saving up some money. All of her friends have been working to save their money up in order to pay for their gowns to be made, but Joy had no plans to pay with any of the money she's had, instead expecting us to pay for her. She came out of nowhere today asking me to give her $3,000, so of course I said no to that. Then she yelled at me that she'd be asking you for the money before she stopped texting me.
I see. At least I have a good idea of what's to come now. But that was a bit cold for you to do that to her. At times like this, you should be willing to give her that money.
What?
I understand that asking for $3,000 last minute is a bit tough, but it is her graduation after all, right? And she told you she wants to do this so she can match with her friends. As her parents, we should be willing to give her that kind of money for this.
Handing her something like $3,000 is not an easy thing to do, you know. You happen to know that we don't have $3,000 just sitting around right now.
What? Is that right? You're telling me that right now we don't have the ability to just hand our daughter $3,000?
That's right. And that's because you never put any of your money into this house and family. That's why I have to work my butt off putting all I earn into the food and bills. If you want to be the one saying that we have the ability to give her that much money right now, then you use what you have on you to pay her.
Huh? You know I don't have the money to do that, Hayley. I have to go out drinking a lot with people from work, and that doesn't include all the golf outings I'm going to these days. What I'm making is pretty much all going into those two things right now.
But from what I've seen for the past year, you haven't been going out golfing or to drink with your coworkers. So tell me, where is all that money going off to now?
What?
Last month I happened to see your coworkers at the hospital. One of them had gotten into an accident and was there getting some x-rays done on himself. Another was in there getting some testing done to check his liver. I went to talk with them about how things were going between you and them, and all of them gave me the same answer. For around a year now, you have not been going out to golf or drink or anything with them at all.
But you went and talked to those guys without telling me anything. You can't talk to them about their personal lives when you're a nurse at the hospital.
Says who? I was just having small talk with them is all, as that's part of what nurses do with patients. And it so happens that they all told me that they rarely see you at work even, so it's sounding to me like there's something fishy going on there. Even the doctor standing next to me said something was up there, considering I thought you were always with your coworkers after work.
What?
So what's going on here, Felix? Were they just lying to me about you and you really have been going out with them? Or perhaps you're just going out by yourself now to have fun. From what they told me is that you never come with them anymore because you gave the excuse of never having money and it would be tough having to pay for you all the time. So then what is really going on here, Felix?
Shut up. Right now, that has nothing to do with what's going on. We've been talking about Joy, so don't change the topic.
Hey, don't you dare try to run away from me just because things are getting tight for you.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. This is it for a conversation now. I'm done talking to you. Go ahead and give Joy the money she wants already. Stop being such a stingy little witch about it and give her what she wants. I'll tell her right now that you're going to give it all to her.
Hey! Were you shocked by the graduation today? That bedazzled gown I had with all my friends looks so cute, right? And how did you end up getting that gown? Neither your father or I gave you $3,000 for it. You were still able to get that gown made up for yourself. I went and snuck that money away from you, actually. Excuse me? I know that you keep your purse hidden away in the closet in your room. So I went in there and took one of your cards out of it without you noticing. In order to never have you hear about your card being used, I told the cashier to not charge the card until today. And to keep you from finding out about the gown, I went to school early today to get changed. You went into your parents' room and stole their credit card from them? Joy, do you have any idea what you've just done? You went into your mom's purse and stole her card and used it. What? Did I do something wrong? Your cute little daughter was asking for some money and you never handed it to me, so this is all your bad, right? Excuse me? I just wanted to make one last amazing memory with my friends. I did not do a single thing wrong here. The fact that you just skipped over apologizing for what you've done and instead went right to blaming me as something else. You are so in for it when you get home today. I'm going to make sure you get the butt whooping of a lifetime from your dad. There's no way you're ever going to steal money from anyone after he puts in some work on you. Wow. All it was $3,000, you stingy little witch. Don't get so dang upset over that. You're not even scaring me right now with all that talk. Honestly, I won't even go back home if you're there. Won't come back home. Are you planning to start staying at one of your friends' houses now or something? Don't you dare start doing that. Someone like you who thinks it's okay to steal money is not allowed to stay over at their friend's house. Until you're in college and out of this home, you are being grounded to this house. Huh? Whoever said I was going to go and stay over at my friend's house? From now on, I'm going to live with Dad in a brand new house, which means for the rest of time, I'm never going to be living with you again. What? You're going to live with your dad in a brand new house? Starting today, I'm going to live with Dad and my new mom in that house, so there's no more need for the stingy hag and her loud, annoying mouth in my life anymore. What? What do you mean your dad and your new mom? Oh no. So you never noticed a single thing this whole time? For over a year now, Dad has been cheating on you with another woman. I'm laughing my butt off right now, though, because you never noticed a single thing. He's been cheating on me for over a year now? So all of that going out to drink and golf was a lie. He's been trying to hide all of that from me then. That means Joy. Since when did you know about all of this happening with your dad? About a half a year or so. Dad told me he had someone he wanted me to meet and then happened to be his girlfriend. Her name's Jessica and she's a very beautiful woman and has a really good sense of style. She was the one that helped me design my gown for the graduation ceremony. You're lying, right? You've known about her that long now and you've been seeing her? And she was the one that gave me an idea to take your credit card and use it on my gown. She told me that back when she was in my age, she'd steal money from her mom and dad all the time. She also told me that everyone does that when they're my age, so I didn't have to worry about it. Huh? By the way, you were told today that Dad had some work to do today so he couldn't make it to the ceremony, right? That was also a lie. He took the day off work today and he's been with Jessica getting the new house ready. That means after I'm done here, I can go to that house and we can start living as a new family. What? But you told me today that you'd be coming home with your friends. That's why I left on my own and came home first. And after I'm done talking and walking with my friends, I'll be heading over to that new house to live with Dad and Jessica. You can go ahead and hand in the divorce paperwork for Dad, please. Dad told me that he left it all in the living room for you. There's no way. What the hell is going on right now? So you've known about your dad cheating on me and that's been going on for over a year? And to make all that worse, you become close with his girlfriend and today you're gonna start living with them? The fact that you're starting to panic is hilarious. So make sure you hand in that divorce paperwork soon for us. And then after that, you can try to calm down and forget about us. Oh, that's right. After the divorce, you're gonna have to pay $1,000 a month in child support. So make sure to get that to us starting next month. Child support? What? Have you been panicking so much that you didn't think about the child support? Since you won't have any custody of me, you're responsible for paying Dad child support every month. I don't care how much of a stingy butt you are, you have to pay up. And that means $1,000 a month, please. You're still my mom legally, so you have to pay. Well, could you tell that to your real mom? What? Ah, wow. You still have no clue what's gone on, do you? I'm sure once things have calmed down a little, you'll start to understand. In my case, I have a bit of a headache now, and I need to take some time to think about what's happened. Go ahead and tell your dad and his girlfriend about this, please. Oh, wait a second. What do you mean, my real mom? You're my real mom, right? You promised me to pay $1,000 a month in child support to us right now. I can't think anymore. If you have anything else to ask about, then talk with your dad, please. Now I'm gonna go have myself one big ol' nap.
You've really gone and done it now, telling her all that needless crap. You never had to tell her about her real mom, right?
Excuse me? What's wrong with me telling her the truth? And it seems that you got her thinking that I'm the one who'll have to pay child support, huh? You have to tell her the truth right now so that she doesn't get her hopes up.
I don't have to tell her anything.
If you think that that's your only option now. Or it could be that if you told her the truth, things would only begin to get worse for you. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with things getting worse then. You'll just have to tell your cute little daughter that you've cheated twice now in your life and with 2 different people.
What did you say?
Tell her about how your second year of being married to me, you had a baby with another woman who ran to the house and dropped that baby off at our doorstep before vanishing. And how when we had DNA testing done, you were a match to your daughter. I didn't want anything bad happening to your baby, so I made sure to keep quiet about not being her real mother. But look at what's happened now. You've once again cheated on me, and could it be with the same woman, perhaps?
Shut the hell up. Who cares about what happened back then? It's been over a decade and some years since then. Me cheating on you back then is long gone now.
Huh?
Now, I want you to hand in those divorce papers and promise me you'll pay her child support. Even if she's not your real child, you still took over as her mother. You have been raising her for so long now. You're pretty much a real mom.
Nope. I was just taking care of her in place of her mother. I don't have any reason to be paying child support for her.
You don't feel any worries about her? You've lived with her for so long now. Don't you feel you have a duty to take care of her by handing some money over, even if she's not living with you anymore?
Absolutely not, actually. I don't care about the little brat.
What?
You do your best taking care of her yourself. I had to do all of that for you for over a decade now, so it's your turn to become a real dad for her. There you go, Felix. Good luck. I've had enough of this lifestyle with you all, and that means I don't care for any of you anymore either.
Why the hell are you acting like none of what's happened here bothers you? If anything, the reason Joy turned into that brat is because of the way you raised her.
You think so?
Do you understand how much it hurt me watching you raise her into some kind of stupid little playground bully? She was my cute little girl, and you ruined her. That's why I cheated on you again. You and her would always get into fights with one another, and I had to be in the middle of those fights every time. I don't want you to ever forget that this was all your fault, and none of it is to blame on anyone but yourself.
Now I see you're acting like none of this is gonna bother you. Well, I'd cut that out if I were you. All you've done in your life is push that child your little whore friend had with you onto me and forced me to raise her for so many years. And years after, when that little girl didn't turn out very well, you start blaming me for it and using that as a reason to cheat some more? You must be mentally retarded to think that.
Excuse me?
That little brat has your DNA. That's probably why she turned out just like you. She turned out the same brat you've always been, caring only about yourself and not a single other person. You feel horrible that your cute little girl turned into a playground bully? Well then, all you have to say for that is it's in her DNA and that you're sorry.
You have no right speaking like that to your own frickin' husband.
Huh? My husband? Who's that? I already handed in the divorce papers, so I'm not sure what husband of mine you're talking about. If you're referring to yourself, then you should be saying my previous dickhead husband.
You can't say things like that when you're the one who can never raise a child properly. It's no wonder a woman like you got divorced. Unlike your old and stingy bud, my girlfriend is beautiful and happens to have some good common sense. Now that I'll be having Joy live with her and I, Joy will be cleaned up of her past of being a prick like you and will become a proper woman. Then I'll finally have myself the perfect family that I've always been wanting.
can't keep living in this house anymore. My new mom's too scary and I want to come back to you. Wasn't she supposed to be the beautiful woman with a lot of common sense and good style? And she'd been that way for a long time, but the moment she married Dad, she turned evil. All that kindness she had before and that smile, they're all gone. I think she only happens to look nice until you become close to her. I learned that she used to be part of a biker gang back in the day as one of the leaders, and she's done a lot of terrible things. Really? Part of a biker gang back in the day? And a leader for them at that. Dad didn't seem to know about all of that either, and when Dad went and told her about how you wouldn't be sending us any child support, that smile that she had on her face quickly vanished and she turned into the devil. She told him that if that's the case, there was no point in marrying him, and she said that with the loudest yell I've ever heard. Wow. She then turned to me and said if I wasn't going to be making her any money, then there was no point in having me around. She said she could have done a lot with the $1,000 she was promised by Dad. She's so pissed off with everyone in the house right now that I can't even look at her anymore because she's so scary. And to make everything even worse, she has this old bat she used back in the day and is carrying it around the house now, and there are bloodstains all over it. A bat even. She's nothing like the proper woman your dad and you were bragging about, huh? There are even still strands of hair still on that bat. I went on my phone to look up who Jessica even is after entering her name, and she popped up. There were photos of her in here from years ago in a biker clothing, and she's been totally beaten up and has another woman's hair in her hand. Now that you mention it, she was the one that helped you design your gown you wore at the graduation ceremony, right? I suppose it did have that 1970s biker street gang look to it, didn't it? Now that I think about it, she really knew a lot about how to make designs like that. Well, isn't that amazing for you, Joy? I'm sure you're happy to learn that your new mom used to be in a gang and wear all that cool clothing then, right? Now you and her can be best buds, and she'll maybe even take you out to mess around with her. This is not good, Mom. I'm a real gang member like she was. I just like their style is all. I've never been in any fights before, and I've had perfect attendance at school all my life. I never even knew that she was a real biker gang member. She started threatening me with her bat and said that she's going to teach me all sorts of things about living on the streets. I'm scared, Mom. She has so far made me take care of every little chore in the house for her, and anytime I even say a word, she slaps me. I'm freaking out. My, oh my. When it comes to Dad, she makes him sit in a chair all day. The only reason she ever said yes to marrying him is because he promised her that there would be child support involved. Yet now she's saying that liars like him are the reason why people go missing during the night. Every day she'll sit on his lap while he's in that chair while swinging her bat, saying she never knows where the bat might slip. So he's really found himself a new relationship filled with thrills. Mom, please help me. I won't dress that stupid anymore, okay? I'll become a good little girl for you again as long as you'll take me back. I'll even start working part-time and give you that $3,000 back. You don't have to give me that money back. I'd much rather you never talk to me again. Can you do that for me? I was never the one that gave birth to you, and I don't really care what happens to you. What? Right now, your new mom is Jessica, right? So could you stop calling me Mom? It's very rude to her. No way. Wait. Are you gonna throw me away? Don't you feel bad for me hearing about how I have to live? Wasn't it you that chose that life? And when it comes to the $3,000 you stole from me, I got it back from your dad as part of the settlement. So there really is no reason to take you back. No reason to? Have fun now. I hope things go well for you and your dad's new wife. If you really want to move out of there, you're almost going to be 18 here, so you can leave your dad then. Just as long as you start working a job and have the money to. Right after I was done talking with Joy, I made sure to block her number and my ex-husband's number as well. A little bit after that, I heard from a friend that both my ex and Joy got themselves part-time jobs in order to make enough money to leave that horror show. And Joy's also been trying to get into some university so that she can move into a dorm a lot sooner rather than later. No matter how often I asked her to start working on finding a school to go to or about getting a job, she never listened to me. I guess I just wasn't disciplining her quite like Jessica is. When it comes to how my ex is living now, besides the part-time job, of course, he has to give all of that money to his ex-biker gang member wife, and then she gives him $10 a week to spend on himself. And so far, he has not said one comment or complaint back to her about it, considering his life might be on the line there. As for how things have been going on in my own life, I ended up moving out of the old house I shared with them and into a smaller house fit for myself. It's nice having all my money to myself again, and I'm thinking about getting myself a dog and cat here soon to add a little company to the environment. I really do have to say, life is so much better when you don't have an idiotic, cheating husband and his bratty little daughter around anymore. That's helped with my headaches quite a bit.
What is the matter with you? I honestly just don't know how much I can take of this. Wait, what? Megan, what are you talking about? I am talking about you. Ever since I stole your husband, you've been a total downer. Like, accept that I took him and get over it, Tina. Wait, what? I really have no idea what you're talking about at all right now. What are you talking about? How do you not know what I'm talking about right now? I am talking about the fact that I stole your husband. Aren't you crushed about it? Don't even deny it. I know that you are. I know that you're at my house ringing the doorbell all the time. And I know that you're calling my work, trying to call for my firing as well, and I am just sick of it. Megan, I really have no idea about what you're talking about at all. So what? You're telling me that you told someone else about this and that they're the ones doing all of this? Who is constantly calling the store that I work at and demanding to speak to my boss all the time? Did you know I was called into his office and told I would be fired if this goes on? Why are you doing this to me right now? I am the top salesperson at my store and you're going to ruin everything. Megan, please, you need to calm down. I really have no idea what you're talking about and I'm not doing anything to you. You are seriously such a loser, Tina. Just get over the fact that I've stolen Max from you. It's done and over, and acting like a sore loser is not going to change anything. But I am telling you that I haven't done anything. I'm not doing anything. I don't know why you think this is me, but I promise you that I haven't done any of the things you're accusing me of. If you won't admit it, then fine. But I'm just going to let you know that I am not going to lose to you. I'm not going to quit my job, and I am not giving you Max back. In fact, thanks to you, our love is stronger than ever now, and Max is always saying about how he'll be there to protect me. I bet you've never had a man say the kinds of sweet things that he's been telling me. Oh, really? You guys are that serious about each other, is that right? That's right, and we're not going to let you ruin this for us. Your little tricks aren't going to work. This is your first and final warning. Do you understand me? Don't ever mess with me again.
Hey, come on, Tina. You really need to stop this. I mean, what are you going to do? Come after me once you deal with Megan? I mean, you know that I know you've been calling my work. What's the matter with you?
Max, what in the world are you talking about? First Megan and now you?
Well then, who is doing all of this? If not you, then who? You need to leave us alone and stop bullying us.
You both keep telling me to do that, but I am telling you that I'm not doing anything. If you're really all that bothered by what's going on, then why don't you call the police?
We did call the police and they told us not to waste their time with petty family squabbles. So that's why Megan and I are telling you to knock it off. I don't care how in love with me you are. You need to stop this right now. You and I are never ever getting back together.
Okay, Max, you really have the wrong idea here. For the last time, I am not bullying you, and I certainly don't still like you. Why in the world do you think I would even want to get back together with the man who slept with my sister?
What are you talking about? Of course you still like me. Don't lie. But the thing is, I fell in love with your sister the moment I met her. So while I get that you'd wish things could go back to the way they were, it's just not going to happen. I mean, you basically forced me to marry you in the first place.
I'm not going to let you gaslight me like this, Max. You were the one begging me to get with you. But the fact that you couldn't only betray me with my sister and then lie to me about it is amazing. I really did love you, Max, but the moment that I found out the truth about you and Megan, I lost all respect for you. And now I wouldn't want to get back with you if you were the last man on Earth. You are nothing but trash.
What did you just call me? What's the matter with you?
Nothing is the matter with me, and why would I even bother trying to get a piece of trash like you fired? You really think I'm going to waste my time with a little worm like you?
But you can't talk to me like that. I know that you're the one calling our works. You can't hide it. I know that you're still crazy about me. There's no way that you can forget about the love that we had. Tell me that you love me.
You are seriously crazy. Are you not even reading the messages that I'm sending you?
Tell me that you love me, but it still won't change anything. I'm with your sister and nothing is going to change that. She's the only girl for me now.
I literally don't like you anymore, Max. What about that don't you understand?
I'm sorry, but I can't talk to you like this anymore. You need to get over me and quit stalking us. Stop trying to come in between Megan and I. I'm serious. You better quit messing with us or else. Got it?
I seriously just can't believe you. How many times have we asked you to knock it off? I know that Max had to have a little chat with you as well, but you have to stop this. You are driving us crazy. You mean that you and Max are still being harassed? That's right. It stopped for a while, and we thought we'd finally gotten through to you, but apparently not. And you sure did come back with a vengeance, didn't you? I mean, what in the world is with all of these packages that you're sending us? Hold on, you're getting packages as well? Have you even bothered to look at the return address? I'm sure if you looked at those, you would see that I'm not sending you anything. You think I'm going to waste my time looking at those packages for even more than a second? How many of these did you even send out in total? I can't believe that you're all doing this by yourself. Megan, you seriously need to start reading these texts that I'm sending you because I'm not doing any of this. Well, we have proof because you sent us the packages and we'll just trace them back to you. And just what is up with these letters from lawyers? When you divorced Max, you said that you weren't going to be suing us for our affair, so why in the world are you trying to do so now? Hold on a second, you're being sued for an affair? Megan, that really isn't me. I told you guys that I wasn't going to do that and I meant it. Besides, you two told me that you didn't want to waste your money on me. You even told me that you didn't have money to pay me if I did sue you. You guys practically begged me to not go through with it, remember? And so now I guess that you're just getting revenge on us in this way instead? It's so obvious, it's not even funny. You're nothing but a bully and a criminal. Megan, you are being absurd. I can't believe this. You should have quit asking for money and quit going after Max from the very start. But I guess I'm at fault for underestimating just how desperate you are. But fine, if it'll finally get you off our back, then we'll pay you what you want. Megan, you are just talking to yourself at this point. I don't want your money, and I'm not doing any of this. If you really want to know, I moved all of our money into a secret bank account that you didn't know about. So if you really want, I can pay you tens of thousands of dollars. Although you should know that Max doesn't know about this, and he really doesn't have any money. Wait, what? Literally, what is going on? Why are you telling me all of this? What is happening? I really didn't want to have to do this, if I'm being honest. But if it'll get you off our backs, I'll pay you. How does $20,000 sound? I don't want your money, and I don't care about your secret bank account. Why aren't you listening to anything I have to say? Look, I am telling you that I am willing to pay, but you have to promise to leave us alone after this. You have to promise me here and now that you'll stop bullying me. I am sick and tired of putting up with all of your little schemes and threats. It is driving me up the wall, so fine. You win, take my money, and leave us alone. But I've already been paid, although I'll gladly take the money as compensation for how annoying you've been. But I will tell you once again that I haven't done anything. You and Max have just been blaming me for all this. If you think you feel confused about all of this, then how do you think I feel? So go ahead and send that money over. Now, hold on just one second here, Tina. What do you mean that you've already been paid? I thought that Max never paid you at all for our affair. I guess you haven't heard anything from Max yet, have you? It's true that I didn't ask either of you for money when I found out about the affair. And you both really did trick me. I thought that you two were penniless, but then I got a phone call from Max's parents. And they offered to pay me instead as a way of apologizing for their son's behavior. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? They really did that? That's right. I don't know how they found out that I never got any money, but they did reach out to me. And you should know that Max was furious when he found out too, but they paid me $30,000 for the whole affair. Max's parents paid you $30,000? That's what I'm telling you. And Max was there when I went to his parents' place, but his parents told him that they were paying it as a loan to him. And they forced Max to sign a contract agreeing to pay down the fee every month. But you're kidding me! I had no idea about any of this at all! I guess you really haven't told Max about your secret bank account then, because I can't imagine he'd agree if he knew. I don't believe what I'm hearing right now. So you both tricked each other into thinking that the other didn't have any money and now Max is $30,000 down the hole? Good luck explaining this all to him, though. But I haven't told Max about the account at all. Are you really telling me that he's been paying back his parents this whole time? Wait a second. When he got married, he told me that his job had cut his pay. Is that what that was about? He told me he would be getting about $500 less a month. Ah, so that's how he managed to fool you about this. But that $500 a month is quite the tell, isn't it? But wait a second. If you were already paid by Max's parents for our affair, then there'd be no reason for you to demand more, right? That's what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. I got $30,000 and I am very happy with that. But then, I don't get it. What is this all about? Who is sending these demands for money? If it's not you, then who? I told you to open the packages, check the return address, and figure it out yourself. But anyways, now that we've cleared this all up, it sounds like you've got quite a bit to talk about with Max. But feel free to send that $20,000 for all the trouble you've given me over this. Tina, are you there? I did it. I finally managed to figure out who it was sending these invoices demanding that we pay them. It was the wife of my boyfriend. She's the one that's been behind all of this. Sorry, did you just say your boyfriend's wife? What is that supposed to mean exactly? So you're telling me that even though you're married to my ex-husband, that you're cheating on him? Wait, no, hold on. That's not what I mean. You don't understand. It's not a real affair or anything like that. It's just a little fun on the side is all. It's just that ever since Max and I got married, the thrill of our relationship has just really died out. Wait, what? Are you serious? Wow, I don't even know what to say about that. Well, of course, I'm so happy to be with Max and have him as my husband, but I think what pushed us together is that we were doing something wrong. I mean, who doesn't want to fool around with a married man, right? Stealing Max from you was half of the fun of the whole affair. You really are just a trashy woman. Do you realize that? You just jump from married man to married man. But I don't get it. How did it come to this? How could she be suing me for this? Oh, right. Now that you mention it, you said that you'd been getting a bunch of those notices in the mail, right? So you mean to tell me that they were really all from the same person? No, not exactly. There were a few people, if I'm being honest. But somehow all the wives of the men that I was seeing found out. I don't know how, but they all knew that I'm sleeping with their husbands, and now they're all threatening to sue me. I just don't get how you could let things get this far. I mean, you do realize this is all your fault, right? But what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to afford all of these lawsuits? In total, I am being asked to pay $70,000 for all my affairs. Well, it sure is a good thing that you have your secret bank account, right? I'm sure you can pay them all with that. Just don't forget about the $20,000 that you offered me as well. You know that I don't have enough money for any of this at all. I only have $30,000. I can't afford $70,000. Well, it sounds to me like you might need to start selling things and get ready to take out some big loans. Otherwise, I have no idea how you're going to afford any of that. I don't think that these other ladies are going to be as nice about it to you as I was when you slept with Max while we were married.
Tina, are you there? I finally figured out who the guy trying to harass me at work with phone calls is. It's actually someone from my office.
So someone in your office was trying to contact you? Did you find out about what?
Oh, nothing too serious. He was just a bit mad because I've hooked up with his girlfriend a couple of times.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me? You slept with the girlfriend of your coworker?
No, it was nothing like that. We just got a little drunk. It really wasn't anything serious. Besides, this guy never even had a girlfriend before. So we were out drinking and he said he wanted to invite her over and she was just really hot. So we kept drinking and the next thing you know, we ended up hooking up after he had passed out.
Wow, just wow. I really don't even know what to say to that at all. But it sounds to me like you deserve whatever is coming to you. But at least you and Megan are a perfect fit for each other.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
I mean that the both of you have been running around sleeping with other people's spouses.
What do you mean the both of us? Are you saying that Megan has been doing something similar?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You both are just horrible people and you deserve each other. Now please just leave me alone. You two have already put me through enough.
Wait, how did you find out about Megan? I don't get it. I had no idea about any of this.
She finally figured out who she was getting all her threatening calls and letters from. And I think you'll find that she had a very similar discovery to you. But you should just be grateful that at least the woman you slept with wasn't married.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that Megan has been sleeping with married men? Does that mean she's been getting those letters from their wives?
I didn't say anything, but you might want to go and have a little talk with her about her recent revelations. And while I'm here airing out dirty laundry, you might as well ask her about her secret bank account, too.
Secret bank account? What secret bank account? Tina, is this a joke? Please, you have to help me out here.
No, you cheated on me with my sister and married her. But then that wasn't enough, and you had to go and cheat on your new wife with the girlfriend of your poor coworker. The two of you blamed me for all of your problems when the real source of them was yourselves all along.
But I had no idea. I had no idea about Megan's affairs or secret bank accounts or anything like that.
And just why do you think that is my problem? Now, it sounds to me like the two of you have a lot to talk about. But whatever happens, leave me out of it and never talk to me again. I was, of course, joking about Megan having to pay me $20,000 for all the harassment the two of them had subjected me to. But I had recently had a slurry of negative reviews by different people, but with a similar style came out on my business. I hired a PI to look into them, and they all traced back to accounts registered to Megan. So in the end, I hired a lawyer, and ultimately, Megan was forced to pay up. I made sure not to ask for any more than she offered, but for Megan, that meant that she was being sued for $90,000. After that, I heard that Max's coworker reported what Max had done to his supervisors. He accused Max of getting him drunk to sleep with his girlfriend. While the company wasn't about to fire Max for that, they didn't want to risk their reputation on him and gave him a huge demotion. I also heard from Max's parents that Megan and Max actually tried to sue each other for their affairs. The judge on the case threw it out right away and suggested they get a divorce instead. Both mirrored in cumulatively over $1 million of debt, however, they felt like they had a better chance to pay it down if they stayed together. So the two stayed together as a married couple, both in a kind of Cold War, trying to catch the other cheating or do something the other could sue them for and pay down on their own debts. As for me, I had those nasty negative reviews removed and got on with my life. I felt like I dodged a bullet with all those accusations, even though I knew I was innocent. I haven't heard from either Megan or Max since then, and I think my life is better for it. Dee, are you there? Please, I promise to let you live at your family's house again if you will just please take care of your mom. I can't stand living with her anymore. Whoa, Lauren, where is this all coming from all of a sudden? Are you not getting along with my mom? You've heard from your brother about how your mom is starting to show signs of dementia, right? Well, lately those signs have been getting really, really bad, and I just don't know what to do, but I can't stand having to take care of her now. Yes, of course I knew that Mom was starting to go like that, but I didn't realize that it had been getting worse. I really am at my limit already. Please, you have to come back and take care of her. I mean, you're her real daughter, not me. You should have been doing this from the start. I understand what you're saying, but you and my brother said you would live with my parents, right? I remember you saying how much you loved their house and how happy you would be to get to stay there. So then we all talked about it, I had to move out, and you and Marcus started living there instead. I know that, but, well, it wasn't like we were trying to kick you out. I just thought you could benefit a lot from living on your own. Well, I think you know very well that I never really wanted to move out, but you kept insisting and I finally caved. I didn't want to make things bad between you and my family or us, so that's why I agreed to it. But we all talked about it, remember? My mom said that whomever took care of her would get the house when she passed on. I know, but still. And the deal was basically that you and my brother would get the house, but only in exchange for the hard work of taking care of an elderly woman. Didn't my mom even have you two sign an agreement making that all clear? Did you not realize what you were getting yourself into? I'm sorry, Lauren, but that was pretty irresponsible of you. Yes, I know it was irresponsible. I realize that now, thank you. I was being selfish and I'm sorry, but I am seriously at my limits. So, now that we understand each other, can you please help me out of this mess? Have you talked about this with my brother at all? Because I think he'll be harder to convince. Yeah, I talked to him about it, but he just said that we have to grit our teeth and bear it. But he did say that he'd only be okay with it if you agreed to take our place. I really just don't know what to do with the two of you, but okay, if I'm going to move in and take care of my mom, then you realize that means you two won't get the house, right? So if you're okay with that, then I can move in and take your place. I really, really don't want to be doing this, but I just can't stand the situation any longer. I'll talk to your mom about who'll get the house, though. I just didn't think that taking care of her would be so difficult. Well, okay then. I guess I'll make some arrangements so I can move back there then. Do you think you could send me some more information on how my mom is doing? I just want to make sure to bring everything I'll need to take care of her. Yes, of course I can do this. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much help you're giving us. I'll call Marcus right away. Oh man, it feels so good to finally be free. Thank you, Dee. Hey, Marcus, are you there? I was just wondering if you had arranged all you need to for the funeral. You two are going to be able to make it to that this weekend, right?
Dee, I'm really sorry about this, but we decided that we're not going to go to a funeral, so thanks for reaching out, but yeah.
Wait, you mean you're not going to even go to our mom's funeral?
I just think it would be a waste of money to go all the way there. And it's not like I even got all that much from Mum's will. So I'm not about to just waste what little I did get just to go to a funeral. I mean, soon she'll be cremated and in an urn anyways.
But Marcus, you can't miss this. This is our mom. I can't believe that you're not going to come.
Well, it's not like Mum even had that many friends to begin with, you know, so I doubt there's going to be many people there anyways. So again, I just really don't think it's going to be worth it for me.
Marcus, please. You're being ridiculous. Don't you see that? You can't miss Mom's funeral. She gave birth to us. She raised us. She was there for us our whole lives until now.
Okay. You need to calm down, Dee. Do you really think Mum wants to look down on us and watch us fight like this? Now, I'm the eldest child, which makes me in charge of the family. So you do well to just do as I say.
And just what makes you think that you can boss me around like this, huh? I'm only asking you to show up for the funeral for your last living parent. How is that even close to being a waste of money?
Well, you know that it's not just that, right? I mean, I don't really think you're even the right person to be handling a funeral. After all, we were the ones that were promised Mum's house after she dies, so how about you just pack up your bags, move out already?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean that there's not even going to be a funeral. It's just a waste of time and money.
Marcus, I really don't understand right now. Why did you mention the house?
Why wouldn't I mention the house? You confused about something? The house was always going to belong to Lauren and I. Remember you gave it up and promised that we could have it. You even signed a document saying that.
No, that was you signing the document, and it said that if you wanted the house, then you needed to take care of Mom. But you two couldn't handle it and ended up asking me to move back in with Mom. You gave up your claim to the house then and there. You realize that, right? And since I was taking care of Mom instead, I'm going to get the house.
I don't remember any of that at all. You're crazy if you think that's how it went. I mean, Lauren and I still have our copy of the contract, so how can you claim the house when I have a piece of paper here saying that we get it?
I don't believe this. You've got to be kidding me. Are you seriously doing this to me right now? You traded places with me, made it so that I would take care of Mom instead of you two, and now you're just going to take the house?
You make it sound like I tricked you. That's not fair. I'm just saying that I've got a contract here that says I get the house. So I think you might want to watch the way you talk to me about this.
Lauren, are you there? I have to ask you something. You do know that I'm getting my mom's house, right? You guys had me move in and take care of my mom until the day she died, so that means I'll inherit the house. I don't know what Marcus is thinking, but he seems to be under the impression that you two are getting it. I'm sorry, Dee, but it sounds like the only person who's got the wrong idea here is you. I never remember telling you that you'd get the house for trading places with us. What? What do you mean? How can you say that? Are you feeling okay? Are you sure you're not just tired since your mom has passed away? I would try to get some rest after all. You need to start packing up all your things to move out for us soon. You two? You've got to be kidding me. This was always your plan, wasn't it? You two were always going to try and steal the house back from me after Mom died, weren't you? You two were trying to run this con on my mom and I from the very start. Well, your mom's dead, so we were only trying to trick you. But man, it really wasn't easy having to take care of that woman. I really thought I would be able to tough it out because of how much I loved that house, but I just couldn't take it after a while, so that's why I had you handle her for me. After all, she is your mom, but to me, she was nothing more than a barrier standing in between me and her house. How can you say something like that? It's just horrible. What is the matter with you? You have no idea what it was like when her dementia started getting really, really bad. I couldn't stand her after that. She was completely incomprehensible. If you weren't ready to take on being there for my mom, then you shouldn't have offered to live with her in the first place. I mean, do you really think that you're going to get away with what you're doing right now? You and my brother have got to be two of the most selfish, duplicitous people I've ever met. Oh, come on, we're not that bad. You're just blowing this all out of proportion. I have every right to be mad at the two of you. I can't believe that you're actually trying to do this. I thought we had an understanding when I agreed to switch places with you and Marcus. So for you two to turn around and try to pull something like this, for you to put all the work of caring for my mom on me and then try and steal the house? I don't care what you say. It's all very clearly laid out in the contract that we signed. After all, I know that your mom was a really rich lady. That's why Marcus and I are going to try and squeeze her will for all it's got. The house, the land, the money, all of it. It'll all be ours. But why do you need it all? Why can't I get my fair share? I mean, you're bringing this way past the house now. You're talking about taking everything and leaving me with practically nothing. Of course we're going to leave you with nothing. The only way to handle a parasite like you is to cut you out as soon as possible. That's why I've asked Marcus to handle kicking you out of the house and making sure that you never come back. You think that I'm the parasite? Are you serious? I can't believe that you're calling me that. For the millionth time, I don't care what you think or how you feel. We have the contract, so the house is ours. Now, why don't you make this easy for all of us, pack up your bags, and go? Your mom is dead, so there's no need to have you around. You took care of her, she's gone, so now get lost. Okay, fine then, I will pack my bags and I will leave. Great, and just remember that you're not getting a penny from your mom's will. You really fell for our trap and didn't even realize it. Thanks to you, Marcus and I have been able to live in peace, knowing that we were always going to have things go our way. Well, if you think I didn't get anything out of this, you're wrong. I've been able to spend really valuable time with my mom during the final years of her life. Well, great then. It sounds to me like this whole thing has been a win-win, and there's no need for you to care about this any longer. So, since you got something nice out of the whole experience, I guess that means that you really don't care if Marcus and I take everything from your mom's will. Oh, yes, of course, you two can do whatever you want. Of course, I think you'll find there's really not that much to take. And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? I mean exactly what I said. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a funeral to plan. Goodbye, Lauren. Hey, Dee, what the heck is going on here? Just what are you trying to pull right now, huh? We had all our things packed up, arrived at the house, and now we can't get inside? It was like someone had changed the locks, and then, after we had to bust our way into our own home, the police were called. Since when did the house get sold? I had no idea about that. The house was sold about 3 years ago, actually. When I moved in to take care of my mom, that was when it happened. Wait, but why am I only hearing about this now? What is going on here? You can't just decide to sell the house without telling us. And what's wrong with that? The house became mine when I agreed to take care of my mom. And since I saw that duty through to the very end, I was able to do what I wanted with it. It's my house and I sold it. Got a problem with that? But it's not your house, it's our house. Well, the whole reason I sold it to begin with is because my mom asked me to. And I don't know why you think you or Marcus should have had anything to do with that conversation when you weren't taking care of her. What do you mean your mom asked you to sell it? Why in the world would she do something like that? You were right about my mom's dementia. It really was getting worse, but she wasn't completely gone. And during the day, she was quite lucid and was able to talk and have a conversation. So she asked me one day to sell the house. She said that she thought it would be best if we sold it and used the money to put her into a nursing home. You were going to use the money from the house to put your mom into a nursing home? Only because that's what she asked of me. She knew that you two really wanted to hold on to the house. But after you two switched with me and the house was going to go to me, she figured that she didn't have to hold it for the two of you any longer. She had actually been wanting to go into a nursing home for quite some time. But she kept her wish quiet from you two because she didn't want to upset you. She was holding back the whole time just for you two, and you still were only trying to use her and me to get what you wanted. But I had no idea. She never told us anything about this. Of course she didn't, but she did to me, and so I did sell the house, and I did put my mom into a home. But that's not fair. You never told us about this at all. And don't you know how hard Marcus and I tried to take care of her? And then you just go and sell the house without telling me? I was only so thankful to you taking over because I thought that you were going to stay there and keep the house clean for us until your mom died. I did what I did because my mom and I thought it might be what's best for her. I figured they would care for her well and be able to respond to any kind of trouble. And they were good. They were patient and gave my mom all the time that she needed to do what she needed to do. But don't even try and pretend that you and Marcus actually cared for my mom. Well, that's rich coming from you. You were the one that put her into a home where the staff did everything. You never took care of your mom at all. My mom told me about how even when she got sick with a terrible cold, you refused to take care of her. And when she needed help in the bathroom, neither you nor Marcus gave her the hand she needed. Besides, you're still forgetting the fact that Mom asked for this. I bet the reason she did ask for this was because you two did such a bad job with her. And just what is that supposed to mean? You don't know anything about what Marcus and I did. Except that my mom kept a diary and wrote about how you and Marcus treated her in it. It's full of nothing but complaints. You mean she kept records on us? Why would she do that? What's the matter with her? Don't you know that keeping a journal is what doctors recommend to help ward off dementia? It's all written there. She writes all about how your treatment of her got worse and worse. You're kidding me. But I had no idea that she was doing this. I didn't know that we were being watched like that. And does that make any of what you did okay? You really thought that you could get away with what you were doing because nobody was looking? Not only that, but you two have the gall to not come to her funeral after all you put her through? Well, if you have anything to say for yourselves, you can tell it to her urn.
Hey, sis. You there? Lauren was catching me up about what you were talking about with the diary and all. I just want you to know that I really had no idea that Lauren was doing this to our mum at all.
Oh, please, I can't believe that you're honestly trying to save your own skin right now. Besides, Mom wrote in her diary about how you and Lauren were awful to her.
Oh, please, Dee. You really don't understand how difficult it was for us taking care of money. It's only now that I see where I could have done better. But I understand the mistakes that I made. I want you to know that I'll happily apologise to Mum's remains. I was selfish and stupid and should never have acted that way. I should never have let Lauren act that way towards our mum either. But surely you have to understand how this has nothing to do with who should be getting what from the will, right? We're brother and sister, so of course we should be splitting everything, don't you think?
What? Are you serious? You really just said all that so you could ask me about money?
Well, money is important. And now that I know you sold the house to put Mum in a home, surely that means you should have money left, right? I never told you about this, but I know that Mum had a ton of money saved up she never touched.
She did? She had money hidden away?
So I guess you don't actually know. But it's true. Mum told me about it one day. She told me that it was for us after she passed away. She even gave me the account information.
Wait, she really did that?
That's right. I put Lauren in charge of taking care of it for us. So you just tell me how much money you still have from selling the house and I'll make sure that we each get our equal share of Mum's money.
Wait a second. You're not talking about that piece of paper with all those different bank accounts on it.
Oh, so Mum did tell you about that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She spread out her money in different accounts for us, but I think it's well over $1 million.
Marcus, I don't know what to tell you, but that was just a brain training exercise that Mom did. I don't know what account information she gave you, but Mom didn't even have a bank account.
Wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. What do you mean she didn't have a bank account? Then what information did she give me?
It depends on when you asked her, but it could have just been all in her head. As for the paper with the banks, that was just a practice for her to name 10 of any one thing. Sometimes we did states, other times favorite foods, places she had been to, and banks that she knew. Although Mom was the one who told me about that training, and she said she learned it from you. She wrote in her diary that she was happy because you seemed to be helping her out, and that you suggested she write down 10 different banks, so I guess that's what she did.
That's not what I was telling you to do at all.
Well, I don't know what you mean to say. She had dementia.
But I don't understand. This can't be happening. I thought she had money hidden away. I quit my job thinking I'd get this.
You quit your job for money that didn't really exist?
Well, I thought it did. Please, you have to tell me how much you got from the house. I deserve half of it.
I'm sorry, but there's no money left anyways, and you're not getting anything. The nursing home I sent Mom to was a very nice one, and it cost quite a bit of money. By the final year she was there, I was using some of my own money to help support her, actually.
So then, there's nothing. There's no money, no will, no assets, nothing.
That's right, but anyways, since we have that cleared up, I wouldn't bother coming over to see Mom. Sounds to me like you and Lauren have much bigger problems to talk about. Anyways, have a nice life. And so that's how I found out that both Lauren and Marcus had quit their jobs in the expectation of a big payout that was never going to come. With all of their things packed up and ready to move into a new place, though, they were able to find an apartment and move in. I hear that they also quickly had to find jobs, but because they didn't have time to go through the whole hiring process, just took the first jobs they could get. They tried begging me for help, but I ended up blocking them on everything. I also made sure to tell the rest of our family of the horrible way they treated my mom. I haven't heard a word from either of them since, and that's just fine with me. Now I'm living in my own home with my mom's urn on a mantle, watching over me.